Okay, well, hi. I'm here to show you my bullet journal for the month of August. I like to make it all in advance because I don't know when my hyperfixation will clear up. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be making it. Right now, I am showing you the pages that I've already made before I started to film. And I like these pages, so I'm choosing to do like a ice cream theme for August with these kind of, I don't know, like kind of cotton candy colors. I also apologize if this voice, I don't even know what to call it, this voiceover is kind of messy because I don't think I'm very good at doing voiceovers. I feel kind of, again, I don't really know what the word is. I feel kind of pressured because wow, what do you mean I have to just keep talking over myself? And so also maybe I should have see, look, I'm already voice voice my brain is struggling right now. Anyway, I'm already struggling because I probably should have explained what I'm doing right now. So I'm setting up my habit tracker, but when I first made this, I called it a mood tracker, which is unfortunate because I actually kind of liked how it looked. And so this is me trying to fix that right now. So I put some washi tape over where it said mood, and now I am using these like acrylic gel pens that I got off of Amazon in order to cover that up. So that's what I'm doing right now. Frankly, every time I see the word habit, I think that I am misspelling it. It feels like it needs two B's or it needs like two T's or something else. And I don't think I'm misspelling it, but if I am, let me know because this is how I've spelled it on all the other pages that I've done so far. Okay, so anyway, just to like kind of explain what I'm doing, I guess. So I have done bullet journaling on and off for quite a few years now. I think the first time I did it was, what was it? Maybe 2018 was the first bullet journal that I had. And I don't always keep up with it. And I mean, that's kind of just the deal with all of my planners, really, because let's face it, journaling is hard, planners are hard, especially if you're someone like me with diagnosed ADHD. My attention span goes everywhere. But I've been wanting to get back into bullet journaling, and so I bought one, and I've actually been pretty successful with using it for the months of June and July. So here's to hoping that I also use my August bullet journal spreads. Now, what I've been doing these past 3 months is that I've been setting up the spreads kind of a month in advance. And it's like I'm working on it on a day where, frankly, I just feel like doing it because the way that anyway, I'll get back to my thought, but here I am messing up because I didn't let the gel pen dry. So I'm having to clean that up. It's not an uncommon thing for me to do, to be quite frank. Anyway, what was I talking about? I think I was talking about how when it comes to making my spreads, I like to do it in advance because I don't know when the hyperfixation will leave me. So if I feel the calling to, do the bullet journaling, I figured, well, why don't I just do it all in one go? And so this is what this video is showing. It's me basically just like doing my entire August bullet journal like right now, like all of the weekly spreads and whatnot. I'd say the only hard part about that is that, I don't really know what I need or what I want to do with it. So I kind of just have to anticipate that. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Here I am just kind of decorating the sides of my habit tracker. I did just choose for my habit tracker to go with the things that I have for the month of July. I've been liking the habits that I've been tracking there, and so I just decided to keep up with it, you know? And, maybe there'll be stuff that I don't care for, but that line will just have to be blank then. I'm not gonna lie. So here I'm drawing like little tops of ice creams. They kind of don't really look like that because I've made them a little too big. But, I think they look cute. I think the colors are cute. They're kind of whimsical, but there's also something that I don't love about it, but I think overall it's a cute theme. I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of like the actual markers that I was using while making the spread, and maybe I'll point out the different times that like what specifically I didn't like, but I did get these new like calligraphy markers, and at least like in tandem with the markers that I was using, they did kind of bleed through the pages, which was a little disappointing because I'm always on the lookout for some good like black markers that I can like do the writing on. And I think I like them in terms of just like the little writing, so like what I wrote my habits for, like the makeup, the Adderall. Yeah, I track me using Adderall. Mostly that's because I don't want to take my Adderall every day because my psychiatrist tells me that it's good to take breaks from your Adderall. And so I like to track it just to see like which days I do take a break and seeing if I should take a break from it soon. So that's why I track my Adderall, frankly. But I do like that. So here you'll see what I mean by like not loving these markers. Like it's going fine right now, and then I reach a point like right here where it just stopped like showing the black, which was almost a bad thing because that was the marker I used a lot to just like do my basic writing. And I'm kind of having to like clean off the tip in order to keep writing on it, which that was a little annoying. And so that was my habit tracker page. I didn't like it when I first made it, but I've kind of come around to it. When I just kind of see it in like flipping through, I don't mind it quite as much. I like the washi tape, and I think the colors are cute. So it's all good. It's all good. So here you see me like writing a bunch of numbers, and this is for I like to do like a gratitude log. Honestly, it's a little cheesy, and I don't really love cheesy stuff like live, laugh, love, ha ha ha, you know. But I don't know. I think it's a nice thing. It's kind of more of like a way to track my days. And I remember a few years ago, I was listening to this podcast. I think it was called The Happiness Lab. I don't really remember, but it was basically like how people like become happier, and like the biggest thing that they talked about is just like finding little things to be grateful for in your day. And I've taken that to heart, and that's why I started doing these like gratitude logs as a way to like track the day and write little good things that have happened. So that's what I do. I just write like a line of something that I liked about the day. And here I am writing it. I loved how I wrote gratitude. I'm not gonna lie. Some of my prettiest calligraphy. And then I did like log in kind of a light pink. I did erase the pencil mark because it was a little annoying looking, especially with the pink. And then you're gonna see me do like a drop shadow effect with the same pink, which obviously you can't really see that well, but I do think it gives it a good little pop on the page. I think even though it's not super noticeable, I think it gives it a good amount of depth. And so I actually like that a lot. And now I do like to do this thing with my gratitude log pages where I try to color like every other line, and it just kind of helps me keep track of where the line is going. I do have a habit of writing pretty crooked if I don't have lines to follow. So, yeah. And again, I do like these colors. It's very like cotton candy more than ice cream, which is fair because actually I love cotton candy ice cream. That's my hot take. Is that I think cotton candy ice cream is the best. Oh my god, did I do yellow twice? I just noticed that. Why am I using the yellow so much? What is that, like yellow every other time? What was I doing? Ugh, oh, Hannah. Anyway, that's not going to actually bother me when I'm doing my bullet journal because I bet I'm going to forget that I even did that. But I can't believe I was doing that. I think I was like skipping the pink. What was I doing? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so here I am making my little brain dump. I decided to use the washi tape again. And I like this spread too, but you'll see that I really severely messed it up. But, you know, we move. So I'm kind of just using my markers to make little block letters. Pro tip, if you have markers, you really don't need to like have to make a block letter. You can just like kind of trace it and make it a little bit bigger and then like use your black marker to like kind of, I don't want to say the word trace again, but I guess I am. Like to like trace the outline and then it looks like you made block letters and it's not nearly as difficult. And so I'm trying to like kind of make these block letters like a little crooked and up and down. I don't know how to call it, but you can see it's like not meant to be all in a straight line. And I liked that. I thought it was kind of whimsical, like cotton candy ice cream. Oh, I was saying that I think cotton candy ice cream is really underrated. I know it's kind of like, what children like to eat, but what can I say? I have the taste buds of a child. Cotton candy blizzards from Dairy Queen are actually like the best blizzards, and I will stand by that, especially after you've eaten some of it and then you put it in the freezer to eat for later. Frozen cotton candy blizzards from Dairy Queen, that is some of the most delicious stuff I've ever had in my entire life. So you saw right there, it was kind of bleeding through the other side. The marker I was using itself were like these metallic markers. And also like Frank, I'll say this off the bat. I get like everything from Amazon. So, honestly, the quality is not the best because it's from Amazon, but I'm a cheap girly. I want a lot of stuff, and that's where the best deals are, even if it's a little evil. Oh, here's where I really mess up. So I'm obviously erasing the pencil marks, and then I wipe it off. Oh, and then I just kind of made it worse, like on purpose, because maybe I thought like if I did it to everything, it would work out, and I think I just made it worse. I didn't fix it, but we move. It's just gonna look like that. Will it bother me? Maybe, but I don't know. I think it's so cute. So here I'm setting up a little page to track like videos that I'm making because that's kind of what I'm focusing on. And I actually really like how I set up the page for this. So I made like little cones, and then I'm using like the letters as little ice creams in the cone. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, I'm so cute. So yeah, here I am. I even like did little like waffle cone markings on the waffle cones. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah, isn't it cute? Look at me doing these details. Wow, detail queen. I like using this masking tape to like try to have clean lines. It's kind of like a way that I can, do what I want on the top half without having to worry about it like getting on the bottom. So yeah, I like this masking tape. And see what I mean about the block letters? So much easier than trying to do a block letter S. Okay, I kind of don't really know what else to say, so let's just cue the music. Cue the music, Kronk. Okay, so that was my videos page. Again, I think it looks really cute. I'm kind of surprised I didn't do anything else to the page, but there's time. There's time. So here I'm trying to make the page for the first 2 days of the month. So it's August 1st starts on a Friday. And in my bullet journal, I decided to do it from like the week starting at Sunday. I know that's a topic for debate for a lot of people, if the week starts on Sunday or if the week starts on Monday. And frankly, I think I picked it starting on Sunday because I started this in June and the first day of the month started on a Sunday. And so I just thought instead of just having a 1-day page for the first day of June, I'd started on a full week. So that's why I started on a Sunday. But the first days in August starts on a Friday. So I kind of just had like 2 days of like randomness, That doesn't make a lot of sense. I had 2 days where they weren't on the same week as the rest of the month. So they get their own little page. Isn't that cute? And I decided to make it like two little ice cream scoops on top of each other. Isn't that adorable? I thought it was cute. And I couldn't really do this for any of the other days. So I thought this worked. Again, wow, Hannah, with the calligraphy. I've gotten so much better. You should see what my early calligraphy looked like. It's a hot mess, but it really is like a practice makes perfect thing. And I've also gotten a lot better at just using like the brush pens and being able to like do the calligraphy with the brush pens. For a while, I used to do a lot of I call it like faux calligraphy. It's where you just basically write in cursive and then you color in where it's supposed to be like thick brush strokes and whatnot. I don't really love the outline that I made on these ice creams. I kind of wish I just did it on the outside and not in the middle, but I was trying to do kind of like I don't know, these kind of little like messy outlines. I was trying to do something like that, but I think it would have looked better if I just like went on the outside and did it. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie. And then I'm writing Saturday. Again, calligraphy queen. Writing a little 2, and then I gave it a little cone at the bottom. The cone I did fill in. I did not fill in the ice creams because I think that would have been a nightmare to try to write in, but I wasn't going to write in the cone. So I decided to just fill that all out, and then I gave it the little waffle effect. Wow. I feel like you can even see, like, watching this, it kind of bleeding through when I do it on top of the marker. So again, that's unfortunate with that little thing. All right, so now we're getting into like the first week, and like true week, not like the 2 little days. I don't even know if I'd count that as a week, But yeah, so you can see I'm doing like little tops of the ice cream. I don't know if this week fully like resonates with the theme that I was going for, but I think it looks cute. But you'll kind of see what I mean when I finish this. And again, My marker's kind of bleeding through, and it made my calligraphy not look quite as cute as it did on the first page. But, we keep moving. We keep moving. Also, these metallic markers that I'm using. So I have like that blue, and then I have like a dark purple that are these metallic markers. My black marker does not show up super well on it. You'll even see like it's showing up fine right now, but I'm gonna have to go back in and like redo it because it's like washing away as I finish, which is kind of annoying. I think I might do just some music right now because I don't really know what else to say. I'm not gonna lie, you're just gonna see me making a bunch of little tops to ice cream and then writing the day of the week in it. But I'll come back, don't worry. Alright, so here you'll see what I decided to do, which was like these squiggly boxes surrounding it because I felt like just the tops of the ice cream was a little too like simple. And I don't mind that I did this, but I do think now they look more like jellyfish than ice cream. And so that's really not what like the theme was. Jellyfish would be a cute theme though at some point. Maybe one of these days I'll do like a little jellyfish theme. That'd be cute. But yeah, not really what I was going for. I probably should have done like a kind of cone effect, but I think I would have been a little mad that I'd be like narrowing down the bottom of the day. So yeah, we just get some little jellyfish. And so here I'm doing another theme that I've kind of been doing the past couple months. I've just really liked how I've done it, And frankly, this is probably going to take up like the bulk of the video, is me doing this one week, because it took me a very long time. This is by far like the most like doodly that I get in here. And I feel like I've been doing a lot of like little doodle designs, but I'm really not much of a doodler, to be quite honest. I've never been that good at like drawing. And maybe you're laughing at me for saying that, because I do think like what I've been able to learn how to do as far as like artsy stuff has gotten a lot better. I think I'm still a little critical of myself, and I don't really view myself as like an artist per se, but I'm I don't know. At the same time, I think it'd be hard to say that like I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I think probably there's like another line that'd be hard to say that I'm not at least a little artsy, you know? I guess I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm not good enough to say that I'm good at art, but I also think like, you know, if you're someone who's not good at art, that probably seems a little insulting to you, you know, because I've got some skill. I don't know if I'm making sense. But anyway, I've been doing this kind of theme where I've had like this little black outline, and then I've done like doodles on the outside, and I've really liked how it's looked like the past 2 months with it. So that's what I'm doing here with my little ice cream. Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing right there. Hannah, pull your bullet journal up. We need to see what you're doing. I just see your knuckles. All right, there you go, Hannah. There you go. But yeah, I like how this looks. The past 2 months I did cherries, and then I did like balloons, which honestly those were both like a lot more simple of doodles to do. The ice cream cones honestly required a lot more details, and I think it's because, you know, I did that kind of waffle effect, and you know, you had the cones and you had like the ice cream, and I kind of did like the scoop of ice cream more so than just like, you know, like balls, because that seemed a little weird. But yeah, this was definitely a lot more intricate, but I don't know, I think this turned out nicely. I liked how it ended up looking. I think it's still like my favorite page of this month, and yeah, I just think like the more it's able to be like kind of simple in the middle, but also like complex, you know? Yeah, you know. Anyway, I'll let you just watch it with some music and not with me just yapping. Okay, bye. You'll see me later. Okay, so now you can see me. I'm starting to um, do the days of the week for this side. I decided to do like little ice creams with the numbers inside them. I thought that was cute. And I was kind of thinking while I was watching this that, maybe you guys might think I'm a little weird because I have like purple and blue ice cream. And that's not very normal. But I don't know. I just thought the colors were kind of cute. Kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, a carnival. Very like Baskin Robbins, I don't know. I just thought it was cute. But, just making little ice creams. Super cute. Wow. Oh my gosh, I just realized that I can like stop the recording to the voiceover. I did that because it was like doing this weird little lag thing and it was making me nervous. Anyway, I need to get more used to doing this type of stuff, But everything has growing pains. Everything has growing pains, and that's okay. And I'll grow with it. Also, why does Wednesday have to be such a long day of the week? And by that I mean, like, look at me. Cutting off the Y. Why couldn't it look more like the other days of the week? Also, is yellow ice cream normal? I figured it kind of looked like vanilla, which is what I was kind of going for, but I don't know. You might think that that doesn't look normal, but we vibe. We live. It's okay. You can have yellow ice cream. Maybe it's like lemon. I don't know. I liked how I wrote to do there also. I thought that was cute. Very simple, very demure, very mindful. So that's my page. That one's probably my favorite. This one's very simple. I don't hate it, but I also do kind of hate it, I was kind of going for the same thing that I did for like the video page that I had, where I have a cone and then like the days of the week, their letters were like the ice cream that were inside the cone, but it just kind of ended up like a little more simple than what I was anticipating. And also the same, like, my marker like bleeding through the my marker bleeding through the marker. Yeah, that makes sense. Not really, but you'll see what I mean. Yeah, I was having that issue. Also, I did not make these very even. I don't know. I didn't feel like counting. Do you ever do that with your bullet journal? Do you ever just feel like not counting? Ugh, I hate the counting. I used to be like really meticulous with like counting and making sure everything was even, but now it's like, who cares? Who cares? It's mine. It's my journal. I guess I never really explained like what a bullet journal is, like if you don't do one. It's basically like a make your own journal. And it's kind of been the only thing that's really worked for me, kind of. And I say kind of because, like, you can definitely say that, you know, it hasn't worked for me because I've stopped doing it at so many different points in my life. But I do think that when I use a bullet journal, I'm kind of more on top of journaling and planning a lot more often than not. I don't there's something about like designing the pages myself that keeps me engaged with the journal. That's why I like to do it. With my ADHD, if I don't have like an incentive to use something like that, like novelty or excitement, the interest factor, then I just frankly I won't touch it. So especially with planners that are like pre-set up, I have a very difficult time using those because there's just nothing really interesting about it. At least with my bullet journal, I like seeing what I've done and I like, adding to it throughout the weeks that it keeps me engaged and keeps me like coming back to it. So that's why I like using it. I've done different kind of planners that are like kind of similar. I had a happy planner phase. Like I don't even know if it was a year ago. It might have been like maybe 2 years ago. I had a happy planner phase. And that kept me engaged for a while, but I think eventually I started to get a little overwhelmed by it. It was a little more like I don't know, I felt like I couldn't start the spreads too soon. So then if I reached a point where my hyperfixation went away, then I would just have these empty spreads and that would make me feel a little bad about myself. Whereas I feel like at least with my bullet journal, I can do stuff ahead of time so I can make sure that I like each page feels used. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, and I don't even know if I fully agree with myself with what I'm saying. But right now I've been enjoying my bullet journal, it's been working out for me at least these past 2 months. Who knows? Maybe I'll make it a third month. Maybe I'll even make it a fourth month. I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But that's kind of why I use it. I feel like a lot of times bullet journaling feels counterintuitive for people with ADHD. Like I think some people view it like, well, that looks like a lot of effort, so why would you even want to do that? Like, when you want something that's a little less effort so that you can make sure that you actually do it. And I think sometimes it's, the opposite. I think if I'm putting in effort, I'm more likely to use it. So, I don't know. That's my kind of philosophy when it comes to bullet journaling. I like that I can make it my own. I can kind of like add stuff to it if I want. I think I've also gotten a lot better when it comes to bullet journaling of like accepting if, I don't use a certain page, that's not like the end of the world. I used to, I don't know, I get pretty obsessive with hobbies that I have. So when I first started doing this, I would like count out each and every page and I'd write exactly what each page I'd use for, and I'd like make sure the entire bullet journal was used up for the year. And that was a little intense. That's a little too much for me. I've now chilled out a bit, but I think I've kind of reached a good like middle ground of like I'm putting a lot of effort into it so that I'm engaged, but I'm not like crazy about it, Also, you can tell this is the last week of August. Technically, there's a week after because I say that I start on a Sunday, but I just decided to, I don't know, that might not make much sense. I should not get ahead of myself. So for the last week of August, August 31st starts on a Sunday. So technically it would have been like 2 weeks because the 31st would have started on the next week. But I just decided to add it on to this week and make it like an 8-day spread because I don't know. I think that made the most sense to me. So that's what I'm doing here. You can also tell that I was starting to run out of gas while doing these spreads because I kind of just decided that the washi tape was going to be my decorative aspect of this week's spread. I do end up adding little ice creams for the date right there, you'll see. But yeah, this one is just really simple and straightforward. And I don't think that's a bad thing, like having certain weeks that are a little more straightforward, especially when I've had that one where I have a lot of the doodles on the side. It definitely takes up some energy. And here I was trying to really just do this for the video, and I was doing this all in one go. And so that was a lot of effort. A lot of other times I end up just doing it when I have free time. Maybe I'm just watching something off to the side. I was doing this when I was at my old job and I had free time, I'm not gonna lie. So that was some of the time that I was working on this bullet journal, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't normally just do it all in one go like this, and we'll see if I keep doing that. I would like to film me doing these so I can post them, because I don't know, I always find these videos kind of relaxing, watching someone do these drawings and putting it on a high speed to watch. So yeah. So I definitely started to flip through these, but my recording thing kind of skipped and I didn't see that I was doing that. So anyway, this is kind of just the last part of my bullet journal, just kind of flipping through what the month looks like. I think it ended up looking pretty cute. I honestly, I think I liked my last month more than this month, to be perfectly honest, but I think this ended up pretty cute. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye!